I picked up a hitchhiker, but no one else saw him. It was past midnight when I saw him, standing on the side of the road, his thumb outstretched, illuminated by the glow of my headlights. The highway was empty, stretching into darkness in both directions. The rain had started up again, pattering against my windshield, and the hitchhiker looked drenched. I should have kept driving. Instead, I slowed down. He was young, maybe in his early 20s, with shaggy dark hair and clothes that looked worn, almost outdated. He leaned down as I rolled the window down a crack. "Where you headed?" I asked. "Anywhere." His voice was quiet, almost hesitant. "Just need a ride." I don't know why, but I unlocked the door. As soon as he slid into the passenger seat, a strange chill settled over me. The heater was blasting, but I suddenly felt cold. "You out here alone?" I asked, trying to make conversation. The hitchhiker didn't answer right away. His gaze was distant, fixed on the road ahead. After a long pause, he murmured, "Not anymore." A shiver ran down my spine. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. The drive was silent after that. The rain blurred the edges of the road, and the wipers dragged sluggishly across the windshield. I kept glancing at him out of the corner of my eye. He didn't move. He didn't even shift in his seat. Something about him felt wrong. I tried to ignore it. Maybe he was just tired, or cold, or didn't like talking. But the silence stretched too long, turning heavy, oppressive. I cleared my throat. "You got a name?" The hitchhiker smiled. It was a slow, unsettling thing. "Not anymore." The way he said it made my stomach twist. I focused on the road, heart pounding, counting the minutes until I reached the next gas station. I told myself I'd drop him off there, no matter what. But then he finally spoke again. "You should drive faster." I frowned. "What?" "They don't like it when you go too slow." My foot froze over the gas pedal. "Who doesn't like it?" I asked, barely above a whisper. The hitchhiker turned his head slowly to look at me. His eyes were dark. Too dark. The ones watching. My pulse hammered. I stole a glance in the rearview mirror. No one was there. The back seat was empty. The road behind me stretched into pure, endless black. But then, a flicker, a shape, just out of view, like someone was sitting in the back seat. I swerved. The car skidded as I yanked the wheel, tires shrieking against the wet pavement. My breath came in sharp gasps as I whipped my head around. Nothing. The hitchhiker laughed. Low. Quiet. Like he knew something I didn't. I was done. My gut screamed at me to get him out of my car. Lights appeared in the distance. The gas station. Relief flooded me. I pulled in fast, barely putting the car in park before I turned to him. "This is where you get out," I said firmly. The hitchhiker just stared at me. Then in a voice too soft, too cold, he said, "They're still watching." I didn't care. I reached across him and yanked open the door. But when I turned back, he was gone. The seat was empty. The door hadn't opened. The seatbelt was still buckled. I stared, heart thundering. A knock on my window made me jump. The gas station attendant was outside, peering at me with concern. I rolled the window down, my hands still shaking. "You okay, man?" he asked. I hesitated. Did you see the guy who was just in my car?" The attendant frowned. "You pulled in alone." My stomach dropped. I turned, staring at the empty seat. A single wet imprint was left on the fabric, and on the fogged-up glass of the passenger window, a single word had been traced with a finger. "Run."